All right. Come on over to the HOK Coliseum. That's where we at. You already see I dropped the link in the chats. We will be going off the HOK in Sodnetta Studios. Come on into the HOK Coliseum. Right across the street. I dropped the link in the chat. I'll drop it again right now. This is where we're going to be at. All right. So that's where we're going to be, family.
This is for my sisters trapped in religion. Wake up and free the babies. So let us break the truth, he's on a mission. At the house of consciousness, the final call, where your Bible was break up or just fall. In the house of consciousness, the final call. Stop believing in fairy tales, especially for I use the Bible like a lantern in the night, trying to wake up my sisters to the light. The house is closing in and it's a total mess. You ignore my wisdom, the ultimate test. Step inside the HOK, it's the toughest terrain. When the truth hits hard, the cuts bring pain. I'm trying to wake you with the word in my hand, to get you to the truth, to help you understand. I gave you the scriptures, chapters and verse. I gave you the keys to break the curse. I gave you Torah, the one locked with keys. Like the man I'm chasing in house of consciousness, final call. Whoa, will your Bible numbers break up or just fall? House of consciousness, final call. Stop believing in fairy tales, especially they call you apostle like you a prophet of God. Fertilizing food and people can't be that hard. You're preaching from your tube, looking for a handout. I'm spamming on fire, they're trying to bring your truth down. Welcome to the place where the truth resides. No more hiding in the pews where the die. It's cast you speak against the Bible just to wake your inner sight. Come inside the HOK, we bring the light. Will your Bible thumpers break up or just fall? Stop living in fairy tales, especially don't stop, wake the sisters up. Don't stop, wake the sisters up. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, wake the sisters up. Don't stop, wake the sisters up.
Yeah. Where you at? Where you at, Cedric? The link is in the chat. Ankh needs you to hold him down. He needs you to hold him down till he get down, till he get up in here. All right, I'm waiting on my man Cedric to come in. Y'all already know this is the weigh-in for the up-and-coming debate with our beloved brother Sanchez and our beloved brother Ankh. This is going to be a dog fight right here. Pit bull versus pit bull. I don't know, man. I don't know. Hyena versus pit bull, whatever. The hyena will kill a pit bull. Which I think. I think a hyena would kill him because of the pressure, the pounds of pressure that he bites down on, crushes bones and everything. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Right? Right? What do you think, Cedric? You're a science man. Yeah. Let's get it in. I'm waiting. Damn, I took a shower. I'm all ashy. I ain't even greased my face or nothing. I'm all ashied up, man. Cedric, where you at, bro? Waiting on my man Sedge. Come on in. And I'm waiting on Sanchez. If anybody else want to come in before they come in, come on in and speak your piece real quick. Real quick. Come on in and speak your piece. What do y'all think about the Napah Shada and Naphtali up and coming debate? What do y'all think? Who got that? What do y'all think? One is scientific, one is just strictly religious. One is scientific and spiritual. The other one is strictly religious. Yep. Okay, let me drop the link to let the people know where we at. What channel we on? We over here. The link is in the chat, bro. Here go the link again. The link is in the chat. Oh. I know what link I dropped. My bad. My bad, brother. I dropped the other link. Here's the link for you to come in. That's the link where you come in at. All right, I just pinned it. My man Suntan, what's happening with you?
What's up, Si? Everything good?
Yeah, man. What do you think about the up and coming debate with Napah and Naphtali?
It's gonna be pretty good. Like I said, Napah doing the dual thing. See, she dealing with both, and that's where most Christian and Hebrew fail to realize that it can start off with both, right?
Yeah.
So Napah got a strong stance, man. So it's gonna be hard to get around that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you just trying to just be a Bible thumper, which is fine, but you still gotta have the science, cause like, where did we come from?
Right. I agree.
That's all I'm saying.
So, yo, I want everybody to know I'm ending it on Sarnetta Studios, and we right over here on the Coliseum, y'all. I want everybody to know that.
Hey, Si, you know, I gotta ask Sanchez, do he still believe it ain't no gravity? That's my question for him. You know, I always come with the real question.
Yeah.
Because if he don't believe there's no gravity, then I'm gonna beat the brakes off of it.
You know it.
That's all I'm saying. You know?
Yeah.
Even though he got us. You know what else I found out too, Si? I did some research on what they call them, the Aboriginals. I found out that the Indians were, you know, bringing the black people in, and they were slaves. Maybe they was indentured slaves. It wasn't like chattel slavery. And that's where they get that, all our black people get that indigenous stuff from, Big Mama and all that stuff right there. You know, because they was on the plantation, and they was in Indian tribes and stuff like that. That go to man right there. Peace, brother Sad.
Peace, sometime. Peace, what's good?
I just told Si, if Sanchez don't believe in gravity, he in big trouble.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Cedric?
I'm good. Just to set the record straight, I'm not having any debate with
Oh.
JJ
Oh,
be wildin'. JJ be wildin'. His death tournament match or whatever that supposedly is. I'm not interested. What I am interested in is that MK debate. We gotta get that set up.
Sure do. I want to see that.
Yeah, we gotta get that one in. Gotta get that one in.
You know,
say that again?
That I saw MK. He wants to debate me on convergent versus divergent evolution.
Yeah.
So if he wants, we could get that in. But I agree with you, Suntan. There are certain subjects that are just so ridiculous it doesn't even warrant discussion. Flat Earth,
right?
And Ankh beat the brakes off of Sanchez the last debate. I was there, so I always support him.
I mean, you know, it is what it is. You know, man, if he was losing, I said, but I don't think Sanchez got a chance.
I've noticed a certain trend with the hyper pseudos like Sanchez and Naphtali. They have the amazing ability to not answer a question, gish gallop, switch it all up, and end up asking you a question. It is the most super pseudo thing that they do. You ask Sanchez one question, then Sanchez goes off into a build that is completely non sequitur. And last night we got a demonstration of that. Napah asked some straight up, straightforward questions that are simple to answer if you're being genuine and honest. What Naphtali did was it's around the world.
You know what that's called, don't you, Cedric?
First of all, there is no living process that is taking place in a fruit or a vegetable. The moment it is detached from the tree, the process of decay has started. So what you get is
that was powerful right there, man. Damn.
The breaking down of sugars, etc. It's a breaking down process, a natural decaying process. There is no way you can actually test a pharmaceutical reaction on a fruit. The fruit is already dead. So that was a completely non sequitur argument that she was making, and Napah's discipline to just stay right there. I would have crashed out at that point already because that was
you know what you call that, don't you, Cedric? You know what you call that, don't you? You call that a red herring.
Man, that's not even that's completely non sequitur. Second of all, what you do test on fruits and vegetables are pesticides. Right? Now, that has nothing to do with pharmaceuticals. The reason we test pharmaceuticals on animals is because they have pretty much the same biological process. They contain an immune system. So these processes are the same. And Napah's right. You start with the small rodents and you work your way up in complexity. So that's where the trials are done with regards to animals, because we come out of the animal kingdom, right? Yeah. We can also model certain behaviors that are innate. For example, they do a lot of testing with rats to study social dynamics, because again, we are also animals, right? Now, when we talk about ourselves as animals, it's simply a classification, right? You're either in the eukaryotic world or the prokaryotic world or in the fungi world. You fit within one of these paradigms. It is just that simple. It doesn't make you a goat. It doesn't make you an elephant. It doesn't make you a monkey. It simply means you're part of a specific aspect of the kingdom.
Absolutely.
And another point Napah was making, if you claim to be grounded in science, why is there total opposition to everything that science says? How can you be scientific and question the tenets of science without having anything to stand on but your opinion and your belief?
Right. Now, that's it. That's what you stand on, religion. If you're not scientific, Cedric, you got to stand on that religion.
And the God killer is in the building.
Yeah, I seen him pop on.
What's up, brothers?
What's up, brother?
Sitting
I,
in listening to y'all. Intelligent conversation.
listen, did you hear
Hmm?
what I said? That I'm gonna
What's,
ask Sanchez.
what'd you say? What'd you ask?
I'm gonna ask him if he still don't believe in gravity. He gonna get the brakes beat out of him. I'm gonna ask him straight out when he appears. You know, reality is realism is realism, right? So if you can't believe in gravity, what are we talking about?
But Suntan,
Yeah, go ahead.
that's not the conversation, though, brother.
I know. I just want to see where his mind is at.
Well, you already know he believes
Now,
he don't believe in that because he's a flat earther, brother. You know the answer to that.
but that's why I asked.
Yeah, but you already know the answer to that. He's gonna stick with that.
You
Because
think
if you
so?
don't, he got to. Because he's a flat earther.
Yeah, but they be pivoting, sir.
Nah, he ain't gonna pivot that though.
Okay, I'm gonna take your word for it.
He got to stay with that.
I'm gonna beat him
Am I
up.
right or wrong, huh?
Yeah, if he don't understand gravity, then he not even ready for the conversation we having and the
That's
debate.
all
That's
I'm
part of
saying.
it.
That's all
That's
I'm
part of
saying.
it.
And
Hey,
then,
oh,
what's up, Raku?
hey, I just wanted to say to
What's up, bro?
they could have caught Naphtali last or what's her name? I didn't ask this question because I only had one question and I was finished. It was the last question, but I wanted to ask Naphtali this last night. Does she ever get animated? And if she just said, "Yeah," I would have caught her with the trap. Where the word animate and animal are connected in their origin.
Yes. Yeah.
So you're an animal. That's real. But go ahead.
Let me respond to Mastermind More B 8611. This guy, he really thinks he's a scientist. No, a scientist are those that have masters and PhDs and contribute new information to the body of work. That is a scientist. They are actually at the edge of where we don't know, and they are the ones that are bringing new information into the field. What I am is an applied scientist. So I understand the fundamentals of science. I work within chemistry, biochemistry, yes, but I would never call myself a scientist. However, I am very versed and very scientifically literate, from the philosophical foundation up into the different systems, how they apply and how they function. Well enough to be able to communicate scientific literacy and to dissect and discern the flim flam.
Y'all kill me with that flim flam. Y'all,
No flim flam.
yeah.
Flim flam, flim flam, boom.
Boom, 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 bam. Boom, boom, bam. Boom, bam, bam, bam. Boom, bam, flim flam.
All right. So, while I got you here, and Sanchez isn't entered yet, I'll let you start off with the going in. Go ahead, brother.
No,
What's your
I'm
debate?
saying human beings evolved in an environment that actually happened in gravity. That's why when humans go to space where there's no gravity and they stay long times, they start to lose muscle mass, right? They have to have oxygen and machines to breathe. The reason you lose muscle mass and the reason you need oxygen and all that is because you evolved in the fundamental forces that happen on planet Earth. Simple as that. If we evolved in space, then we wouldn't need the muscle mass. Then we wouldn't need the oxygen, right? We evolved in Earth's atmosphere and had certain conditions by way of natural selection. So the conversation is moot. If you don't think it's gravity, then you don't understand the conversation to have the conversation. So that's where I'm at. If you don't think you're an animal, like Cool said, then you're not animated. Then, like, what did we? Why are we so afraid? First of all, it's traditional ideas, totems, right? They all look to the animals for understanding. Okay, and Europeanism broke away from that. Scientists got back to that because you understand your natural world. If you rip out all the trees, then you affect the oxygen on the planet because what do trees do? Trees actually break down carbon dioxide and release oxygen. Helps clean the air. But if you study cutting down all the trees and messing up the biodiversity on Earth, you're messing it up. That's why they try to do certain things. And in Europe, they had to do the Clean Air Act. because of pollution. You heard of London smog, right? That was based off of burning too much fossil fuels. Okay, so one thing about indigenous culture, they was close. They was close to nature, and the lot. They lived lifestyles that didn't break down the balance of nature sometimes in some communities. And then we look at certain communities that actually overfarmed, right? Had too much cattle in one area and actually messed up the biodiversity. So at the end of the day, we understand these things. I'm saying it's based off of uh, evolution, which pushes us to understand humans when they migrated out of Africa. All these things help critique and help maintain a healthy conversation in African American and African history. Simple as that. So
All
if you
right.
don't understand how Africa, you ain't gonna understand African history at all.
All right. Let me bring Sanchez up to date. Sanchez, what Uncle's talking about is gravity. Are you still the same way as far as your belief system goes when you don't believe in gravity? Are you still saying that?
Give me about 2, 3 more minutes if you don't mind. I'm
Okay.
still
All right.
setting up on mine. I apologize.
Yes, sir. No problem. Go ahead, do your thing. So, Unc, man, did you see the conversation? I needed you last night, man. You ain't come through, man.
Yeah, but I went live on the channel. I went live on Solid TV. I went live with you. I was doing too much. I gotta get you the money, man.
Nah, you ain't doing too much. Keep it going, man. Just keep it going.
Yeah, and the people, you know what, the people, and I appreciate the House of Consciousness, man. The people been kind of coming to those early shows and supporting me too.
All
I
right.
appreciate that.
Man. Have they been giving you any donations through the cash app or anything?
They've been starting to catch up a little bit. That's what I'm saying. I appreciate
That's
that.
good. That's what's up, man. That's all I'm asking for, man.
Yeah.
Support my brother Unc. He's getting up early in the morning so y'all can have early shows at work, go in the bathroom, sit on the toilet, and watch the show. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I know y'all at work, so go and hide in the bathroom. That's how you do it.
I'm ready for y'all when y'all
Yes.
ready.
So Sanchez, I was saying, do you still teach? Oh, hold on.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Do you still teach that there is no such thing as gravity? That's what Suntan wanted to bring to you. Matter of fact, I'll bring my man Suntan up where he can actually.
Let me just go ahead and nip that in the bud real quick.
All right, go ahead, brother.
I'm very strict on a time limit today. I have about an hour and a half.
Okay.
So I would like to I want to do one thing at a time. I'm an organized kind of guy. I'm willing to, Sonnet is only going to help you, by the way, because what I'm going to tell you here for the record, if Suntan want a one-on-one debate with me, and if the other brother, the cow, my bad, I forgot that other dude name.
Now, Suntan don't want no debate. And Rakufu, you talking about probably Rakufu?
Well, put it this way. Whoever want to debate with me, bro, in 2026, I'm entertaining it for a little while through you, Sarnetta. So we're going to get it in. We're going to get it in. I want to start with Ankh first, though, with one thing at a time. And I don't really want to go to flat earth. I really came here today.
That's why I said that earlier. I told him that earlier.
But I ain't running from that, though. Let's set that up, though.
I got you. So, do you want to start the conversation, or do you want Brother Sanchez to start it off?
I already started the conversation. That was my conversation.
He wasn't here, though. He wasn't here.
I said that gravity is fundamental.
No, we're not talking about gravity, brother. We're talking about.
I said gravity is fundamental to the conversation because it's in Earth's atmosphere where gravity affects humans. My point was, if we evolved in space, I said if we evolved in space, when humans go to space, they start to lose muscle mass, right? So when they come back, it's hard. They got to get their muscle together so they can walk and withstand gravity. That's how we know it's a force pushing against them. But this is all help. It's called environmental pressures and radiation from the sun. So you got outside forces, right, inside Earth's atmosphere that puts environmental pressures on humans is why they evolved. And we understand the high levels of radiation inside of Africa. That's why you find all the major hominids inside of Africa. My point is, human beings, Homo sapiens sapiens, start in Africa first. Thus, we get the outer Africa theory 1 and 2. I'm starting with that. There's no getting around that.
I just want to say I don't understand how y'all putting gravity into like the out of Africa debate, but I ain't gonna trip on it. I'm gonna focus straight on the topic, which is out of Africa. And we can do a gravity of flat Earth debate in the future, but I don't know why y'all.
We already did it already. Keep going. Don't worry about it.
We can do another one. But let me ask you something before I get on the out of Africa theory.
Yeah, go for it, buddy.
What is the equation for gravity, Unc?
What's the equation
for gravity?
Can I look it up? But I thought you didn't want to go through the gravity thing.
You don't know the equation for gravity by heart.
But I thought you didn't want to go into that because we did that at the debate. I can just look it up.
When somebody brings something up and act like they
gonna look it up. Hold on.
About it.
Nah, that's the pseudo
brother. I'm finna move on to the out of Africa.
No. We're not moving on.
I know the equation for gravity. I was saying that you know.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Let's move on. Let's move
on.
So
wait. So you're saying that's an actual equation for gravity? You're saying that? No. I'm saying, are you saying that? No, I know it's.
In order for me to argue against something, I have to know about the thing. But I'm not here today to talk about gravity. I just asked to see if you knew it by heart. You don't. So let's just get back. Let's get
no. But I'm saying, but if you're
let's get on
No. We're not doing this. No, sir.
What's the topic about,
Sonetta? No. About gravity. Because you asked me. No, sir. I'm not leaving gravity.
He's big mad.
The topic is about, what y'all debate is about. This is the weigh-in right now. That's why I said it's not about gravity. It's not about none of that. It's about what y'all debating. That's what it is, huh? So you was just talking about that until he came. So now let's get to the issue. Now, if you want the gravity talk, we can do that probably tomorrow or something. Oh, you hear me? Unmute yourself, Unc, if you're talking.
Me out, so.
No, I didn't mute you out, bro.
Yeah, I said I'm not leaving gravity. Because if this man admits there's an equation for gravity, then he's scamming when he said it ain't no gravity. Because he just meant there's an equation that verifies gravity. And he said, I don't know it. But I'm saying we can look up the equations for gravity. So the question to you is, what do you have that destroys the equation for gravity that you claim you know, but yet don't understand it? That's my question back at you, Sanchez.
Okay, so
yeah.
Do you know what F equals I time M
force
is? What that equation is?
F equals force. I know F equals force. G equals
giving
gravity.
You an equation, brother. Hold up, slow, calm. Can you have him calm down a bit there?
Yeah, you gotta relax, brother. Let him ask the question.
Man, I'm walking around, man. Get out of here with that. Y'all bugged out.
Listen, brother. F equals I times M. You know what that equation is?
I know F. I know what F stands for. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna tell you what that equation is before you look it up, and because it's
I'm saying it's not a trick, bro. F equals force. F equals force, bro. That's come on,
yo. You know that I was giving you an equation.
So what you talk about then?
F equals I time M. So let me make my point with this equation. I ain't want to take time just doing that.
Yeah, make your point with it so I can get you.
What's funny while you Googling is that is
I'm standing here with my phone in my hand, yo. I ain't Googling nothing.
Okay, my bad. Then let me just land my plane here then.
Yeah, but I suppose to look up stuff.
Yeah, you do. I ain't gonna hold that against you, but we want to let it be known though that
let me know.
It's okay.
Let me know that brother Unc will look up stuff. For the record, I'm just saying.
Let me tell you why I brought up the equation now.
Yeah, go ahead.
The equation is for flying elephants. You know why? You know why I brought that up? Equation is just. The reason I gave you the equation for flying elephants is to say that elephants don't fly, but you can make an equation for any claim. An equation is just a mathematical language. If you tell a lie in Chinese, it don't make the lie truth. So if you tell a lie in a mathematical equation, that don't make your lie true. It still have to be proven. Just simply having an equation for something don't make it true. You can't be that slow. You can't be that slow. So flying elephants is true because it's an equation for it, right? Stop it, Unc. He ain't ready for me, Sarnetta, and I'm tired of beating up on your mans. I'm tired. He said he the God killer, but God's still alive. I'm right here, bro. They still praying to me.
So I don't know why you said something about flying elephants, right? I thought you was talking
I
about the
know you
equation.
don't, bro. It
You
goes
mentioned,
over your
you
head
asked
like
me,
a halo, like a
yeah,
halo.
you asked me what F mean in that gravity equation. I said force. I don't know what you was talking about. I don't mind that, but for the listening audience, I'm letting y'all know right now. I reserve the right as an intelligent human being to look up things. Right. So if y'all sitting there thinking, hold on. So if y'all sitting there thinking that we not supposed to look up something, that we supposed to know everything and everything, then that's not gonna happen. So I don't live in that world. I
It's
don't live in
okay,
that
bro.
world.
I know
All right.
you're right,
Okay,
man.
I don't live in that world.
Okay, bro.
Let
That
me know,
really
bro. I'm
hurted the
moving.
brother. All right. So
Okay. For what?
all right. So I'm gonna segue on into this out of Africa thing. On my end, drop a one in my chat if you guys can hear me loud and clear. Let's give a salutes to Sarnetta, man. He's been doing this so long, and the reason I want my people to give a salutes to Sarnetta is because it must be a bunch of. I know Sarnetta got PTSD watching me murder all his men like this. I mean, every show, everybody from Jabari to Reggie. I know Sarnetta is hurting. He had to go to so many funerals. Can we clap it up for the OG? He's seen so many bodies drop in these streets, man, and it must be traumatic. Sarnetta, I just want to say I thank you, man. I feel for you and all that. Yeah. And another thing I want to say here today, shout out to the brother Mike L, who made this Egyptian hat that I'm wearing. I'm wearing that to show that I'm FBA, but it's still all love for the diaspora. I'm not a device. And now we can proceed to this out of Africa.
Where's the Egyptian hat? Let me see the Egyptian hat.
All right.
You wearing the Egyptian? Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I see it.
Yeah, he hooked me up. Salutes to the brother Michael.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, so let's get right into it, man. Ankh is saying that all life comes up out of Africa. You are saying all life don't come out of Africa. Now, I want to advise you, Brother Sanchez and Ankh, you don't want to give up your main sources yet, but you can talk around it. You know how to do it. You don't want to give up everything. So go ahead, Sanchez, start that conversation.
Well, I want to just start off with something very simple. The out of Africa theory is just a theory for how life began and how diversity come to be. But other people can have explanations and theories of how it happened too. That don't have to be the end all be all. And we should be able to put all these theories side by side and decide which one's the best one. But the out of Africa theory has ran a monopoly and presented itself as the end all be all. But I think what's very important to know is that the oldest tribes in Africa don't even subscribe to the theory. The Dogon don't subscribe to the out of Africa theory. When you talk to African people, they don't agree that all life come from their land. In fact, some of the oldest origin stories of humans' life in Africa from the tribes says that all life originated from Amma. And that's a whole nother debate on what Amma is to the Dogon. So I ain't gonna go down that road, but it's just to show that we have an out of Africa theory to explain our worldview and the way we see life, but that's not the end all be all. When you travel, when you get out there, not everyone subscribe to that. And the reason I'm saying that is to say it's okay to challenge it. We act like Christians with the Bible, like you can't challenge it. You can't challenge God. You can't challenge science. Yet they'll say science don't got all the answers. We try to get it right and we can make mistakes. We don't act like we know everything. Shitting me. You act like you know everything, which is why can't nobody challenge the out of Africa theory, but I'm going to challenge it today. That's my opening with what I'm about to do. Now, Saw, if you want me to go right into my argument against it, I can do that too, or I can let him.
Let's let
let me go.
Let's let Unc respond.
No problem.
So I don't agree with what Sarnetta said.
Hey, Unc, before you start, Sanchez and Unc, No profanity.
I got you.
Please don't curse and say my bad, I'm sorry. Because you know what I noticed, real quick? I noticed all the Chief X videos have that yellow goddamn tag. And you know why.
You
All
don't
of
you
his
don't know how
videos
to
have the yellow
you don't know
and
how to
green.
you don't know how to refute the yellow tag, brother. Do I gotta show you that?
Yeah, you might have to show me.
Oh man, you
Wait,
didn't mind.
There's a lot of curses on that though. That's why I was thinking there's a lot of
No,
hey,
that's not
this
it. I
what
can
you
show you
gotta
how to
do
fix
too.
that.
okay.
Gotta, if you can, you can write down a timestamp where they did it. You can go cut them out, and then they'll green it once you cut them
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. I noticed all his videos over here, it got that yellow. Everything else is green. So all right, go ahead.
So never acquiesce to a faulty premise. There were certain faulty premises that Sarnetta said, and of course Sanchez said. Right? I'll bring those out in the debate. And I'm amazed that in 2026, a person does not have the wherewithal to separate human populations and put them in proper space and time. The Twa or the Hutu or indigenous African tribes did not, are not, was not, didn't usher humans into the space age or the Bronze Age. They was in the quote unquote hunter-gatherer, Stone Ages, right? And so why would they know things like that? Science works off of having the ability to build a foundation, having the ability to unlock the room to get you the next room. Each room stacks on top of the other. So the time periods he's talking about indigenous tribes, they did not have the educational level to even begin to talk about the subject matter we're talking about. But hell, no humans did. But they absolutely laid the foundation so to get you to this point. It's always this conversation where I recognize that Sanchez does not know or understand what a damn scientific theory is. Why is that? As a debate, I will challenge you to give the definition of what a scientific theory is. And then once you understand what a scientific theory is, you would just say, you know what? Unc one. That's my opening statement right there. Learn what a damn scientific theory is.
So Sarnetta, this man is so funny that he think I don't understand what a scientific theory is, and the reason he think that you can mute him real quick. I
Yeah.
was quiet for him. He was muted when I was muted for him. So yeah, so I understand what a scientific theory is. He think I don't because I challenge the theories. I know that they call their theories facts, which is silly. I know I've looked it up. I know that a scientific theory technically is a tested theory that's been through the fire for so long that they say is really a fact. I get all that, man. That's it in a nutshell. It's basically a fact. I'm challenging their claims that it's a fact. And that don't mean I don't know that they're saying it's a fact. Like, come on, bro. I'm still challenging it. So with that being said, he said a lot of things about the tribal people and all that and about the space age. I want him to know that everything we know about the stars, and I'm not even making this up, bro, even his scientists say this. Everything we know about the stars, there's books written, go look up Lab Strand, all them. The Dogon, the Pygmy, the Mayan, the ancient Egyptians, all of them already knew everything that we just found out with technology, which makes our ancestors more divine than we think. Because when you think about the fact that the Dogon tribe, some people in the jungle, knew and was making predictions about the stars that we just started figuring out with technology, it'll make you look at the Dogon a little different. It'll make you look at these ancient people a little different. See, people like Ankh think that these tribes don't know what we know because he don't even get too thorough with his own science. There are a lot of his own anthropologists and scientists that have written books to the nature of basically saying, how the hell do these tribes know that? They don't supposed to know that. This is the claims we make. People have been saying for years that the Dogon know things that they should not know about the stars because they didn't have the technology. And the question becomes, for so long in history, how the hell did the Maya know? How did the Vedic know? How did the Egyptian know? How did the Dogon tribe dude in the jungle with a bone in his nose, and we go over there and he tell us everything about the stars, and we find out later, damn, it checks out. He's right. How the hell did he know that? Right. So the fact that you ain't into that and you don't know that part of science seems to be a little bit selective and biased. But I'm not here today to defend tribes or to talk to you about the stars. And I'm gonna be honest, Sonetta, I think Ankh running from the out of Africa debate, because if he get the mic out to this and we don't get on the topic already, then I don't really think he want that smoke about out of Africa theory, because we've been talking about the Dogon, the stars, and all that. And I'm ready for this out of Africa thing, and we can do any other title you want. But trust me, it's starting to look like you're running now, Unc. And I'm ready to get it, make my arguments for this out of Africa thing. And guess what, Unc? This ain't even a real debate. I'm just playing. It's my play stuff right here.
All right, Unc, let's get it, man.
Yeah, right here. Yeah, you gotta knock it off, yo. You done set up here and don't even know the conversation is already into the outer Africa theory. And you don't even recognize that. So, like I said, like 99% of the pseudos, they don't know what a scientific theory is. You probably need to look it up before the debate, bro. You cannot come in there and not know what a scientific theory is and think, first of all, if you knew what a scientific theory is, you know daggone well you're not getting on Sonetta TV and challenging no damn scientific theory. You must got some kind of pseudo understanding of what it is. But bro, if you sitting there and you thinking you challenging the outer African theory from YouTube on Sonetta TV, I'm gonna beat the brakes off you, bro, because it's something you just don't understand. But I'm cool with that. So let's do this. The point is, if we was looking at wild grains, right, and we see one variety of wild grains was in Asia, and 5 of that same type, but in variation, was in Africa, there's a fundamental rule that says, well, basically, wild grains must have came from Africa, and one got transplanted to Asia. That's the same with the outer Africa theory. There's going to be 3-4 ways I'm going to bring scientific evidence to verify the outer Africa theory. We will use the and some they say don't give up the source. I'm giving up all my sources because he can't defeat the sources. He's in trouble. We're going to lose molecular clock. We're going to use DNA. We're going to use bones. We're going to use human finds. We're going to use archaeology. We're going to use all these things. And oh, by the way, bro, science and understanding things, understanding the cosmos, actually starts early on in Africa, not the playa. Okay? But there's a transition that has to occur to get from proto-astronomy to astronomy. And so no indigenous tribe had made it to those steps, because if they had, they would have took their ass to the moon, based off what you're saying. And I know you would actually think that they went to the moon, but I'm telling you not. So the outer African theory is always up for challenge. That's why it's a theory, because it's challenged. And people are always trying to prove it wrong, because that's exactly what science does. It tries to falsify, quote unquote, scientific theories. So that's not an issue. That's not a problem. So you gotta get straight on what a scientific theory is, and people, you gotta listen to the point I'm making here. It is important to understand what a scientific theory is, because once you understand what a scientific theory is, then you understand why what he's saying don't make no sense. Now, if you don't understand a scientific theory, right, then you will think that he's actually doing something. That's not what's happening right now. What is happening is the ability to transmit science is based off of those who, one, understands what a scientific theory is. Why the outer Africa theory is called the theory is essential. Why the outer Africa theory has withstood the time is essential. There is no archaeological finds on planet Earth outside of Africa and Asia that would even come close to saying that we might need to make a shift in the outer Africa theory. But even with that, Africa still stands strong on human populations coming from Africa. Bring up the source, bring up the information in the debate to prove that humans, Homo sapiens sapiens, don't start out of Africa first. Go get that. Go put that together, because that's what you're going to need. If you can't do it, you're gonna get beat up.
Well, Unc, I'm not just saying this. I told you this about a couple of weeks ago. I'm not the moderator for this debate, so I can say this. I'm rolling with Sanchez on this debate. I'm going with Sanchez. So I don't want you to think I'm biased or nothing like that. I just got to go with Sanchez, brother.
Bro, you always go with the pseudo. I get it. I ain't mad at you. Matter of fact, I'd be mad if you did go with me. Then I'd be kind of upset. I'd be thinking, what the hell? The hell's wrong? Man, it's all good. No, I'm finished right there.
All right, so look, I got a lot, man, and I'm gonna get right into it because the out of Africa theory is presented as
if you want to share your screen, you can share your screen.
I'm good. I'm just gonna talk with him now because I don't want to give him up. I ain't gonna share no screen before the debate, but yeah. So, but I might later though. But check this out. What I want to let him know is, the out of Africa theory is presented as a scientific conclusion, like it concludes the conversation. Ain't nothing else to talk about. This what happened. Let's go home. But in reality, it's more of a salvage hypothesis. And it only have survived by retreat, revision, and redefinition. I'm going to give you an example. A theory that must abandon its original claims to remain standing is not refined. It's falsified and rebranded. So I'm gonna demonstrate that the out of Africa theory fails on its own original criteria, and that what remains is not a proof of African origin, but a population genetics narrative mistaken for an evolutionary birthplace. That's what I'm gonna be doing, Unc. I hope I hope that sunk in. So the original out of Africa model made.
So what you say? Say that again. Yeah. What?
Okay, I'll say it again if you do me one thing. Tell me the definition of scientific theory.
A scientific theory is the organized, well-tested facts. They're organized and they're well-tested and established. So scientific theories organizes the facts in a coherent way and is repeatedly tested and challenged over and over and over again. That's a scientific theory. It's open for change. It does not mean complete.
I guess we can take that definition. I'll give you a B+ with that definition. So what I was saying was the out of Africa theory fails on its own original criteria because it's not really proof of African origin. It's proof of a population genetics narrative mistaken for an evolutionary birthplace. But I'm gonna go into what I'm saying here. The original out of Africa model made a clear testable claim that modern humans evolved in Africa and replaced all other hominins with little or no interbreeding. That claim is now false. And I don't think a lot of people pushing the out of Africa theory know that the theory has evolved. Speaking of evolution, you need to keep up with how much your theory evolves. It really evolves way faster than monkey men. And I don't think y'all really know that, sir. So yes, did you know that the claim that all these hominids came out of Africa with little or no interbreeding has been false? The people that gave us this theory said it's false. It's not an opinion, it's an admitted fact. Just a yes or no, and I'll just keep moving.
All right, go say it again. Say it again. My fault. Go ahead. What?
No, I'm gonna just keep moving. But the thing about this is non-African humans.
Yes.
It said that. So basically, what I'm stating is that replacement didn't happen because this is what the out of Africa theory claimed. Replacement was not a side detail. It's the mechanism that made out of Africa distinct. Without replacement, out of Africa collapses into hybridization, regional continuity, and assimilation. In other words, the theory now depends on the very mechanisms it was designed to replace. It's not refinement, it's failure. If you don't see what I'm saying, just keep listening.
No, I see what you're saying.
The strongest claim used to prop up the out of Africa theory is genetic diversity. Now, this is where I'm finna hit home at. This is where you're gonna definitely get me. So Africa has the most genetic diversity. This is the claim being made, and I'm not gonna argue that it don't. I'm gonna say, let's say Africa do got the most genetic diversity. Can we say all life come from Africa because of that? I don't think we can, right? It's like me saying, well, a dragon is burping out the sun in the morning, and because we see the sun, that proves my dragon. No. So my thing is like this right here. Africa could be the most diverse if that's true, because it has been the most invaded continent since the beginning as we know it. And I've been knowing that because I've been studying the continent for a while. No place on earth has been invaded by so many different groups for so long than Africa. That would explain diversity better than monkey people and Sasquatch theories and stuff like that. And it's actually more reasonable. We can still see that kind of diversity taking place in Africa as I speak, but we can't see monkeys or chimps turning into humans. So I'm just saying there are more valid explanations than, oh, it's the most diversity there, so human life started there. Well, guess what? The Amazon rainforest got the most diverse plant life. Maybe plant life started in the Amazon. What you think about that? You think plant life started in the Amazon?
I think rainforests have the most diversity, period. You have rainforests all over planet Earth. So I think
But
the
Amazon
biodiversity
has the most diverse, though.
I'm just saying the rainforest has the most biodiversity. I have not looked that up to even see if that is a confirmed fact or what it
That's a
is. So
fact.
I will look that up.
That's
Now
a fact.
I can't trust you with your facts at all. So I'll look it up and figure out and
We can look it
determine.
up right now, because if I'm wrong, you can debunk me right in front of all these people right now.
I ain't trying to, but if you right, you just prove my damn point.
Okay. If
Don't look it up. You're gonna lose right there.
So, if you
Yeah,
think
don't
so,
look it up, Sanchez.
But yeah, I hope you didn't let the point go over your head about diversity and why we brought up the Amazon in the first place. But let me move on.
Well, I was the first to bring up. I gave you the wild grains. Remember, I brought the diversity up first. Remember, that's what I'm saying. Don't look it up. Trying to help you out. I'm trying to say, you beat up already.
So a population can be genetically diverse, without being the origin, just as a language can be diverse without being the birthplace of speech. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
Explain what I'm saying then.
You're basically saying that doesn't necessarily have to be a hard fixed rule, and I'm saying I agree with you.
Okay, so then I hope you don't try to make it a hard fixed rule throughout in the future. Everybody just heard you say that. That was crazy.
I know. I know it was crazy.
You heard that, son?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, sure do.
That's crazy. Yo. What? Oh man, I ain't gonna. I do feel like a bully right now, and I'm gonna stop. Damn it! I know I'm smart and I'm intellectual, but I'm kind of being. I apologize to Unc. I'm feeling fucking like a bully right now, man.
No profanity.
Oh, you know what? How would I be the first one to break the rule, man? Okay, that takes away debate points then.
All right. So y'all ready just to open up the floor to get questions? Because y'all don't want to reveal all y'all stuff.
Man, I can reveal all my stuff.
No, because Unc need help and they ready to get Suntan dude and the Cedric dude.
Yeah.
I know them guys can't wait to talk to me. They somewhere doing their hands like this. Sanchez, we already know. I know they can't wait to talk to me, huh? They standing in line, fall in line.
Hey, Sanchez. You know what's incredible about the whole conversation, period, that I've always had with you. You're actually a direct result of the processes that we always debate about. And you don't understand that. And that's amazing in a world where there's AI and there's computers. So I just think you do that on purpose. You purposely ignore information. You purposely don't look up stuff. on
Wow.
purpose. Yeah, because you made it seem like it was a quote unquote bad thing to look up something. Like in my world I live in of
I didn't
intelligence, it's a
remember
good
when
thing to
y'all
look it
used
up.
to. You remember y'all used to joke on me for Googling?
Not me. No, yeah, that way. Do yeah, you got
See,
it's
that way, that way. You see this?
no, you
That
got
way.
hold on, you got I can't think of the words. You lucky I can't think of that word, yo. You got
The
it's
word
something
is
different.
hypocritical. That's what you meant.
Nah, you got me. That ain't what I'm saying, though. Good one. That ain't what I'm saying. I think you got you just over Google. I can't even get a word, yo. I
I
can't get
haven't
a word.
Googled none today. You have. We've heard your keyboard in our ears loud as heck.
You couldn't have. I ain't got no keyboard today. I'm
Hey
on.
man, we heard them keys typing. It
You
was so
couldn't have.
loud it sounded. I said, man, dog, what words per minute?
Oh
10
wow.
words per minute.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So I just want to make a point that actually intelligent people going for their doctorate degrees look up the information in scientific journals and stuff like that. That's part of
I'm
the
not
learning.
mad at that. I'm not mad at none of that.
Hey, but you know what's interesting? You can't look up none of what you're saying.
Okay, so let me just break some down to you. Do you know that there are diverse human populations that have been discovered on the historical timeline prior to any hominids leaving Africa?
Say it again.
There have been diverse human populations discovered,
Mhm.
right? That they are saying ended up in these places before anybody left Africa.
No, yeah, I don't. You don't know what you're talking about. You made that up.
Well, let me ask you this then. Are
Yeah.
you familiar with any alternative out of Africa theories? And do you know how many types of versions of the out of Africa theory exist?
Nope. I know the multi-regional and the outer Asia. I
Which one
understand.
exactly do you subscribe
Hypothesis.
to?
I subscribe to the AA1 and AA2. I mean, my fault, the OOA 1 and 2. I don't subscribe to the outer Asia, which is an hypothesis, or the multi-regional, where populations evolved in Asia and in Africa. That's the multi-regional. You should understand that. That's an hypothesis. It has not been, yeah, it's not there. And there's going to be some things that's going to trip you up. I'm gonna let you get tripped up. And as soon as you use it, I'm gonna beat you up. Trip up, get beat up. That's what we call it around here. Trip up, beat up. Never, don't forget that. Trip up, beat up. Beat up, trip up. Yeah, you're gonna use some of that stuff, and I got you. I got you faded. You understand? Mm-hmm. I already know what you're gonna do. I know you
I
was thinking
want
about it. Go ahead.
to. Do you know how many times the out of Africa theory have been revised?
Yeah, it's a scientific theory. Scientific theories are always open for revision.
I said how many times.
No,
Do
I
you know
don't
how
know.
many times? Look it up. You
I
said you
hope it's a
don't
lot.
mind looking it up. Look it up, brother. Give
I
us
look
some
it up.
knowledge. Teach the people. Yeah.
I thought you had looked it up. You just used it.
I want you. You're here to prove the out of Africa theory, right? I was saying,
No.
if you know how many times your theory has been revised, you want me to do your homework? Okay, I'll look it up for you.
Yeah,
Let me
look it
look
up
it
for
up.
me. Look it up for me. Help
I
me
got
out there, man. You know I'm getting old, bro.
I got you.
I'm getting old, slow.
This
What?
it's all good, and I can type faster than you too. You hear them words per minute, man.
Yeah, you
Yo,
can.
I'm gonna get ready
Yeah,
to open up the platform, y'all. I'm gonna get ready to open it up.
don't open it up yet. Why you rushing to open it up?
So they could put y'all ass on that's not a curse. That's in the Bible. So ass is, the donkey.
Well, yeah, they ain't ass, damn, and hell. Them
Yeah.
ain't cuss words.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm getting ready to open it up so they could put y'all on the hot seat, man. They want to ask questions.
To put me up, it's basically
It's about the
Sanchez
topic
beating
though.
up our mans. Let's go jumping. He beating up on our mans. Let's go jumping. I'm down for it. Come on, man. I'll take on all of y'all, bro. I got a little time left. Let's do it. Let's go for the handicap. Let's do it. Who we
No,
got?
you supposed to be looking up something. Where that's at?
Bring all the ops. I know me versus the world. Let's do it.
No,
No
you supposed to be
sweat.
looking up something. He's supposed to be looking up something.
Oh
Some of them
I
against
have.
them too. Some of them gonna ask some questions too.
No, he's supposed to be looking up something.
That's been 6 revisions.
Okay.
Both of us just got the number now, so that's both of us. Right.
I know. So is there something wrong with that? Does that mean what? What does that mean to you and your world?
What I'm saying is, it may be, I'm helping you out basically. I'm saying, look, you need to go and study these revisions. I'm getting some echo from one of the callers. They got the YouTube.
Yo, go on mute, y'all, everybody.
But you need to study these revisions, and you need to make sure that you ain't spewing an argument that has now been revised. You got to stay up to date with this thing, is what I'm telling you.
Okay.
Stay up on your latest revisions, because you don't want no outdated information for your debate. That's what I'm telling you. I'm helping you. Ain't that some good advice to give him?
Yeah. That's actually that's actually.
I need to know if you got the link for the do you got the link? I'm gonna send it to you in your email.
Okay.
Text me your email, Sanchez, when you get a chance.
Okay. It's talktobrosanchez@gmail.com.
Talk to bro Sanchez at gmail.com.
So basically you saying it got stronger.
I suggest you just go and look up the revisions and look into them before you make any claims right
No,
out.
I'm saying it obviously, if it got revised, that means it don't get revised and get weaker.
What it means is,
What it mean?
because in a lot of these, if you really want me to go into this, it'll take me a while, but we got a whole panel on, and I know time might be, and then I don't want to go into it now anyway, because I'm gonna do this on a debate. I'm gonna say this with a debate, because these revisions, I'm giving you though where I'm going. I'm telling you right now how I'm gonna fight you in the ring, and I'm gonna still win. I'm giving you my strategy. I'm telling you that I'm gonna play with these revisions, because in those revisions lies a lot of hypocrisies and flaws.
Says Sanchez, who think the earth is flat. Boy, I don't know how you gonna put that together.
I know you want to do double.
I don't.
And you want to shift the narrative to that. But I told you earlier, I said, I'm running for me with the out of Africa theory.
I'm not.
And guess what? I've stayed on topic with it. And I've talked to you about gravity, and I've talked to you about that briefly earlier. But we'll set that up too in the future, man. I
already did. I cannot do another flat earth debate with you. I thought that was a good one, though. That was a good one, wasn't it?
Let's not speak it, because you never know. You may change your mind later. You know what I'm saying? You may feel
so you want a round two, huh? You must feel like I got with you. I know I got with you.
I think that it should be an ongoing thing, because there's a lot of different topics and different ways we can set up the debates. I just had one with a guy on my other channel, but I'm gonna actually debate him about the evolution and out of Africa theory too. So my whole thing is, there are alternative explanations, and that the out of Africa theory ain't the end all be all. In fact, there are several versions of the out of Africa theory itself. So you even agreed to that earlier in the video, and I made you repeat it. I was like, dang, okay, he agreed with that. But that's important to know, man, that it's not all be all.
Let me get this real quick. Ankh and Sanchez, I forgot to put the time on the flyer. What time is good for y'all? 5 o'clock? I've got to put that on the flyer.
It can be we dealing my time or your time.
It's going to be on a Saturday, right?
Yeah, I'm cool with a Saturday. That's going to be
Is
on
the debate Saturday,
Yeah, you said Saturday, right?
Okay, Saturday at 5 o'clock. We don't want Sunday because that's the Super Bowl.
And then that's my time, 5 Pacific.
Nah, the Super Bowl is this week. What the hell are you talking about, son? You all over the Super Bowl this weekend, yo.
I know.
The debate ain't this weekend.
Oh, my bad.
Right. Man, okay, you see now.
Hold on for 1 second. Are we talking about 5 o'clock Pacific?
No, the Super Bowl is this weekend. The Super Bowl is this weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, so real quick, let me open up the lines. Let me get the people in the building. And I got Ashay in the building. Let's keep the topic on did all human life come from Africa? That's the topic of the discussion of the debate. So, Ashay, what's up, brother? You got a question for either one of the brothers?
Or I'll entertain some FBA stuff too for a minute.
Yeah, or FBA stuff, whatever. Let's go.
I'm gonna try to stay close to the topic. Let me ask the brother Ankh and Sanchez, both of them. Y'all recognize and understand the animal migration, because we talking about species. So let's talk about the Asian lion versus the African lion, the Asian elephant versus the African elephant. Why do y'all brothers think that it is that when we looking at the African examples, that they seem to be the most dominant? They seem to be larger. They seem to have the darker manes, the longer tusks, the larger ears. They seem to have these more dominant traits. But when it comes down to the ones that are outside of Africa, which I believe is the motherland, it seems that they seem to be more recessive. They seem to be more subspecies, if you would.
I would say that's an opinion. You would have to do your sources and give us some stuff to present to show us how the lions in Africa are the most dominant, or for that matter, anything, the plants or insects or humans for that matter. Because if you say, well, look, let's take that and scale it to humans, where the humans in Africa are more dominant than everyone else. That means that the Africans are more dominant than everyone else, which means they wouldn't be able to be colonized or conquered. You see what I'm saying? So I think it's kind of like a simplified way of looking at it, if you ask me, an oversimplified way of making an argument for it.
Yeah, I would just make the point based off of different environmental pressures that you have in Asia, just like you got the epileptic fold in South Africa and in Asia. It's just environmental pressure. So what you perceive to be dominant, if they was to switch environments, it would be like a disadvantage. So, but you actually are proving evolution. You're actually proving that.
Yeah, with no doubt about it. But the thing about it is, when we looking at Asia and Africa, we're not looking at a extreme climate change or difference.
Correct.
Matter of fact, what we're looking at is, especially with the lions and the elephants, is that we see them making this Levantine movement up the Levant into places like Mesopotamia, even in Anatolian region. Even they're even stretching out that far. They're going across Asia. They're making the same migration that some humans are. This is what I'm alluding to. Okay. This is why when we look at the ancient stories, they all have the stories about the lions in the Levantine area, the Mesopotamia area. You see a Gilgamesh carrying the lion. This is not just symbolic. They lived in these lands. This is for a reason. This is an out of Africa movement. We can observe this. And the reason I use the word dominant, because we can observe this if you understand animal science and you understand darker manes within the lion species equates to dominance. If you understand, when you're dealing with elephants, the larger tusk equates to dominance. You know what I mean? This is just general science. It's not this is 5th grade.
No, I'm not actually disputing that, but I'm saying camels are in Africa and camels don't start in Africa. They start in America. So all animals don't start in Africa.
No, that's not what
I don't think you're saying it. You're just saying the dominance of it. Right, but I'm saying, well, I got you, but I'm saying put that dominant lion in Asia, it might have a problem. That's all I was saying. You know what I mean? Like, it might not be able to do what it needs to do. It might be too dominant. It might overhunt, and then it starve from food. You get my point?
Yeah, we observed that with certain mottos when they put tigers in Africa.
Yep, they done.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get you. You know what I'm saying? And I haven't actually studied the evolution of tigers and elephants, so I'm definitely here to go ahead and soak up what you're talking about, though. That's for sure.
All right. Once again, I got the links in the chat. If y'all want to get y'all tickets now, it's only a couple of weeks away. Sanchez and Ankh, it's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be a dogfight right there. And so the links is in the chat. Cedric, let's go, brother.
I got two simple questions for Sanchez, of course, and they're not long. I'm hearing the discussion. Ankh is presenting the current scientific theory and model. You have not presented a coherent model to rival the
That's
Outer
correct.
Africa theory. Do you have one? And do you propose monogenesis versus polygenesis? And if polygenesis, where would you assume or indicate the other origins of Homo sapiens sapiens?
I totally get where you're going, Cedric, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if that's I see homeboy smiling. Y'all think y'all slick, but I've been around a minute. Now, listen, I can't expose too much of my stuff, Cedric. So I do have a counter explanation for the out of Africa theory. And I don't really want to expose it just yet. But I will ask you this, though. I may expose it, a little bit of it. Where did the first humans come from? If they started in Africa, where did those Africans come from? Let's go all the way back. Can we do that just for a minute? Pick your brain a little bit. How did those first humans even get into Africa, to leave Africa, to go everyone else? When you answer that, I'll give you my whole explanation for my theory on how I think life started and how it became diverse. I'll go ahead and expose mine.
So the question or the discussion has nothing to do with abiogenesis or where life started. We are already at the order of genus in this discussion, right? We're talking about the evolution of Homo sapiens sapiens. Now we know that all life started in Africa. That's a misnomer. However, we know where and we understand the evolution of Homo sapiens sapiens. So again, the question is simple. If you're proposing another theory, what would that theory be? What is it called? And do you have a monogenesis or are you proposing a polygenesis? Because the scientific theory, the out of Africa model, is established scientific fact. It's a theory. So so that's the confusion. If you would answer that or not, it's up to you. That would be my two questions.
Yeah, I would also say, if I'm claiming to know the history of a city, excuse me, my phone. If I'm claiming to know the history of a city, but I don't even know how the city was created, to me, that's a problem. And that's kind of like what I'm saying with the out of Africa situation. We're saying, look, we don't really know how life started, but we can tell you how it evolved, you know. And that's so, really a problem.
So again, we're having two separate discussions.
Right, I haven't got it.
I don't understand how you interject abiogenesis in a conversation of a highly evolved species. Homo sapiens sapiens has been around for about 300.
Hey, Cedric, I think you're wrong. I think it is part of the conversation, Cedric.
But let me just say something. See, what we're saying that when you talk about evolution, you use it to explain how life became what it is today.
I get your point. Why you trying to trip my man up like that, yo?
But at the same
debate
time,
between me and you. Between me and you. Why you trying to trip my man up?
I don't think he's funny. Inside, just y'all having.
So you don't have a model? And you are not proposing.
Yeah, I have a model, but I don't want to expose it right now because.
And is your model based in a monogenesis or polygenesis?
I don't really want to talk about my model right now because it's really going to turn. I got an advantage right now, meaning that I know Unkh's model, and the debate is set up to where he got to prove his model and I got to disprove his model. It don't really mean I got to even have a replacement explanation. I can just show up showing you here's wrong. Sonetta can agree that that's what the debate is set up to do. But check this out, right? I'm actually showing my model in the debate to be extra, to say not only am I going to debunk his, I think this one is makes more sense. You know what I'm saying? But all I really got to do in a debate is debunk his. There's no agreement for me to have no model. What I was saying is I can debunk his, and that's what the debate is set up.
In the realm of science, you would to debunk, quote unquote, a particular theory, you would have to propose a model. It would have to have a framework, and it would need to be corroborated by science itself. So, if I can't even look up your proposed model, then I do not.
I got a model. I'm just not presenting it now. So you talking for nothing. I got a model. But I also say this, man. If I work in the medical field and there's a certain V-word vaccine, for an illness, right? And I discovered that the vaccine.
What's the name of your model?
You gotta let me finish, bro. We've been respect for the whole show. Let me just land my plane. If I realize that the vaccine that they're using is flawed and it's getting people sick, then guess what? I can tell them to take that off the market without having one in replacement, right? And they will give me awards for saying, thanks for catching that, man. You found some in this vaccine that we, realized what we didn't catch, and it was making people sick. They ain't gonna say, well, we're gonna keep making them sick until you give us one a replacement with. I'm showing you how you're wrong, but I'm also saying I do have a replacement. Quit saying I don't have a replacement. I don't have to reveal it to you because I'm not debating you. You're trying to help Ankh, and I know that. Laughing, ridicule, all that ain't gonna work because I'm a chess player and I've been over here in the HOK. I know how this works. I know it's mental and physical. I've made mistakes over here. I've seen how y'all get down. I know Ankh taking notes right now and extracting everything he can out of me for the debate. And guess what? I know how y'all work, Cedric. You're going to try to use my ego against me and make me spill all my beans to be right and go in right now. But I don't care about looking bad right now if that's what you think you're doing. I'm gonna say little because I see the setup.
All right. And Elder Suntan, what's up? Unmute yourself, Suntan.
All right. Peace to the panel. Peace, brother Sanchez. My man.
Suntan.
All right.
Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings.
Peace, brother. You know that all day. Share my screen just one time, side, and that I want Sanchez to answer that. Sanchez, this is a
I'm not talking gravity today.
That ain't the point. I just want to see if you want to go against the consensus.
I'm not going to go talk to you about gravity.
Well, I'll read this.
So we can set a debate up. We can
No. Just sit on this. I just read it to you. I don't even need you to respond. Gravity is constant, universal force attractive present on Earth due to mass. Rumors claiming Earth will lose gravity, often citing 7-second events, are false and not based on scientific reality. If gravity were to stop, everything not attached to the ground would fly off and the atmosphere would dissipate. So just, sit on that a while because I'm not a scholar and you're not a scholar, not a scientific scholar. So just sit on there and think about that, my brother, because I do kind of respect, I just don't respect your flat earth, but you are, a highly intelligent guy. So sit on that right there.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead, bro.
What gas makes up the last layer of our atmosphere?
Well, see, I just told you I'm not a scientific scholar.
Okay, no problem. I'll tell you. Okay, well, let me
tell me.
Okay, cool. Helium and hydrogen. But the reason I brought that up is because you said gravity is basically pulling our atmosphere toward the core and is keeping it from just floating off into space. I get that. That is the argument. That's what science says. You let me know you know how to regurgitate. Here's the problem with what science says, because I don't have a problem challenging science like y'all do. If gravity is pulling all of the gas in the atmosphere toward the ground, how come the clouds ain't falling to the ground? And how come a bubble in water floats up to the surface? Gravity don't keep it pulled down. Gravity let the bubble just go up and find its way to the.
I can answer that.
So you get a bubble.
No. Let me answer the question.
I know y'all. Wait a minute. Let me land. Now check this out.
I can answer that.
Simple questions that I'm asking. And then I'm gonna show you my point with it. Go ahead.
Okay, so just like how come the ocean, right, don't just start floating? Okay, and so actually gravity actually affects the molecule, right? And so that's why the clouds basically can float, right? Because it defeats gravity because it's lighter. But once it gets too much rain in it, it gets heavy and gravity pulls it back down to Earth again. So remember, I'm telling you that gravity is not affecting the whole ocean, it's affecting the molecules. And so the molecules are lighter and it defeats gravity.
Okay,
Remember,
so
it's a weak
here's
force. That is
my
my
problem.
answer. That
I
is my
got you. I
answer.
got you.
Right.
Here's my
That's why
problem.
that's why it rained. And then it
I
go
got
back
you,
to the
bro.
clouds and rain again because it's
I get it.
it's on the
I get it.
molecule, not the whole
I
ocean.
get it.
All
Here's
right.
my whole thing about why that's double talk. Because gravity is the strongest force in your universe. It's said to keep all the oceans in the on Earth from flying off into space. Gravity is pulling all that water down. You gotta let me. You gotta
Doesn't
let.
make it a strong pull.
I see it doesn't.
Let me finish. Sarnetta, this is why you can't do this with them, Sarnetta. That's why I said, bro, let me just show up and do the out of Africa.
No, I said you're right. Go ahead. No, go ahead, bro. You're right. Go ahead.
Can y'all just stop interrupting? I know it burns. What I'm saying is this. It said that Newton sat down a tree. He saw an apple fall out the tree. Now, if the apple would have fell in water, the apple would have floated, right? So my thing about what you're saying is this. You're saying gravity is strong enough to hold all of the ocean water to the globe, but yet it can be defeated if something is light. That's like saying that this man is so strong he can lift a house, but if you give him a feather, he can't lift that. You can defeat him with that. That's what you're saying. And I'm going to tell you why you're saying that. Let me share my screen, Sonnet.
Whoa. Before you share your screen, I didn't say that. What I said was an ocean
just said it can be defeated.
No, I said when water turns to vapor, right? Then the quote unquote molecules will float and form clouds. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But once it gets
all right, let them finish before you start talking. Let them finish, and you can respond.
So look, I'm about to explain to you. Share my screen right now, Sonnet, and then because I ain't like I said, we here for FBA Pan-Africanism, but Suntan shifted it here. I'm gonna go ahead and be brief with this. They keep saying gravity put that boat down to the bottom of the cup. I hope y'all can see my screen because they're saying gravity pulling the boat down to the bottom. Right. So gravity pulling the boat down to the bottom of the cup, but according to Ankh, the ping pong ball at the top of the cup, gravity being defeated by that because it's light. Like I said, it's like a strong man that can lift a house, but he can't lift a marshmallow. Why do gravity have these problems? Why do gravity get defeated by light objects? I'm going to tell you right now, because in their model, they got a force pulling on everything. And really, there is no force pulling on everything. Things are just settling in every. But you got to let me be able to speak and get it out, bro, and hold your horses, bro. But check this out. Gravity ain't pulling that boat to the bottom of the cup. Ain't no gravity. That's a theory. This is the law of density, what I'm teaching y'all, and you don't need gravity to explain why things float and why they sink. In a medium, things that if you're lighter than the medium you in, you're gonna float. If you're somebody is got a background noise going on there, and they be hating on me because I'm going in. But look, if you're lighter than
mute up. Everybody put it on mute, y'all. Let's go.
If you're lighter than the medium you in, you're gonna float. If you're heavier than the medium you're in, you're gonna sink. What I just explained was the law of density, and I didn't use the word gravity not one time. Once you say gravity and say there's a force pulling on something, you gotta explain why it don't pull on everything equally, like what Ankh tried to do, and you failed miserably. I don't gotta do that because I know the law of density. I know that it's based upon you being lighter than your medium or heavier than your medium, which is why apple in the water will float, but an apple in the atmosphere will fall because the apple is heavier than the air around it. But the apple is less dense than the water around it in the ocean, so it'll float. That's density. If you're more dense than your medium, you sink. If you're less dense than it, you float. That's why a bubble float in water, and that's why a rock sink in water. It's that simple. I didn't use the word gravity, but I explained why things fall and why they rise. Now, am I wrong? No, I'm not wrong. I just used the law of density to explain why the ping pong ball at the top and why the boat at the bottom.
Density, the law of density.
All right.
Let's get back on topic.
Hold on. Yeah, let me go on over to Dazali. Dazali, what's up, brother?
What's up, big brother? Saw. What's up, pseudo killers in the building? What's up to everybody on the panel? I have a question for the brother Sanchez.
Yeah, Saul, let that man run do that like that, yo, before I could tell him. That man, he made that up, yo. The thing he showed was actually buoyancy. It was actually buoyancy. Wait a minute, bro, that was buoyancy.
Now, guess what?
Oh, wow. Wow.
Can y'all hear me?
I ain't got all day, but check this
No,
out.
wow. You just talked and cried about people talking. Now I'm talking.
Hold up. Sanchez, you got to allow Unc to respond, brother. Go ahead, Unc.
I'm simply saying that vapor is less dense than the whole ocean. And I'm saying when vapor occurs, the molecules are lighter than goddamn gravity. And then when they go to the clouds and form, they floating because they're not heavy enough for gravity to grab it and pull it back. But once the rain clouds get full, it causes rain. Why? Because it's pulling back on the water and it goes to the ocean again. What are you talking about, bro? This is a basic scientific understanding of why we have a constant amount of water on Earth, bro. Dude, that's the wildest thing ever. Why the ocean don't flow? Man, knock it off, man. But go ahead, Dazali. Go ahead, bro. He tripping.
All right, Dazali, go ahead, bro.
Thank you. Peace. Yeah, my question was
Bring it back to the topic, Dazali. Bring it back to the topic.
Yeah. My question is for brother Sanchez. I was going to ask him if he understands the monumental task that he's undertaken, and how can he feel so confident that he's about to defeat academia himself? You know, academia is a $1 trillion industry, right. But if I'm understanding you correctly, you're about to win a Nobel Prize. Your name is about to be written in the history books as the person who defeated the out of Africa theory. You feel very confident about that, brother?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, you gotta be very naive to think that the world worked like that, with all due respect. And I'll tell you why. Because if you think that the people in power want their narrative to be challenged and changed, if you think they want the status quo to be rewritten, for example, if you think, for example, that the church would rewrite the Bible if they found alternative information, for example, that Adam and Eve weren't white. Like, I grew up in churches that's being taught that all around America, but we know through Ashra Kwesi, the first Adam and Eve story is right there in Egypt. But when you go into theology and into the churches in the South, they whitewashed everything. So yeah, there's a lot of brothers that's challenging the whole church down there, and I feel bad for them because in the Bible Belt, they don't stand a chance. But ain't nobody doing it for Nobel Peace Prizes, brother. Ain't nobody doing it for pats on the back. Ain't nobody doing it for nothing like that. We doing it because the people that's giving us history, they're distorting it, they're editing it. And if you take what they're giving you hook, line, and sinker without challenging it, you're doing yourself a due diligence. You're acting like these people are honest.
I got you.
So look, if you got any more questions, be quick with them though, real quick.
Yeah. Real quick. I just wanted to add on that now you don't have to do it for such mundane things as a Nobel Prize. There's money behind it. There's companies that'll make you very, very rich because there are people who would want that.
Question, bro.
But all right, I'm out.
There's a brother named. Let me ask you a question real quick. I got one for you. Have you ever heard of Julian Brown? That brother turning plastic to gas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now watch this. Do you think that there are gonna be big corporations and big gas companies that invest in his stuff or try to put him down or keep him down because it hurts their enterprise?
I really haven't thought about it, but if what he has done really truthfully works, this country in 2026, this world is all about money. Someone will invest in him if what he's doing is actually worth something.
But it's
All
not.
about the money.
This brother would tell you it's damn near the opposite. That's what I'm saying. It's all about the money. So if it's more money into selling gas than turning plastic into gas, making it cheaper because there's an abundance of plastic, right? Then they ain't gonna really invest in that technology. They want you going to the gas station. That's my point. It's a naive way of thinking about a capitalist system. You're a capitalist, man. Think like a capitalist. You're on a monopoly board, bro. Don't be like that. Like,
Yeah,
really.
but it seems like you're going down a path of conspiracy
I'm
theory,
just
and
saying, I'm just saying,
I can't
question
really fight
everything.
with that. I
You
can't
can
really
call,
fight against
listen,
conspiracy theory,
I'm gonna
brother.
be honest with you. If you want to call it your title of conspiracy theory, I just teach the kids question everything and think for yourself. Don't never take nobody saying hook, line, and sinker in this
But
world.
we would not
It's
have
getting,
the civilization that we currently have if we actually live by that. If we all had to individually learn everything and only trust ourselves, we would not have this civilization that we currently have now. I can't
and I'm
build a car.
gonna
I
tell
can't build
you
a
right now.
satellite.
If you look at that's a problem. So the civilization we got is a bunch of consumers that use stuff that they have no idea how to manufacture. So what I'm saying is this right here. When you look around and say, look at what we got today, I laugh when I think about what the ancient Egyptians and what our ancestors had, because the kids back in them days were way more intellectual than us consumers and capitalists today. But I also will say this to you too. The reason I say question everything, because even if somebody tell you 2 + 2 is 4, if you don't prove it for yourself, you will never learn how to add. So you going to learn that 2 + 2 is 4 for yourself teaches you how to add, so you don't got to keep asking nobody what's 3 + 3, what's 4 + 4, right? So that's why I say verify everything for yourself so you can understand how we came to this point to get this knowledge, right? And you will actually respect the knowledge even more, and it'll create a system of checks and balances for the knowledge to be validated and vetted properly through just more than consensus in the way that y'all trying to do here today. But yeah, let's any more questions?
Yeah. I'm saying that was jibbity. That was
Yeah,
the blim, boom. That
man,
absolutely made no sense.
insults don't help you, brother.
I'm talking.
Insults don't help you, brother.
I'm talking. I'm basically saying that what you said don't make no sense. There's always been checks and balances in science. Science is self-correcting. To make sure a person just can't jump off of YouTube and dive into the field out of nowhere and cause confusion, there are checks and balances. So you first have to be in the field to defeat the field. You would actually get the Nobel Prize in science if you created a whole new theory of why human beings don't come from Africa, just like he said. You would be the most popular person on planet Earth. I'm saying you're only dumbfounding and confusing the ignorant. The intelligent amongst us will just look it up. We have tools to make sure. Science is a vaccine against the charlatans that come amongst us. You're just saying anything. What you just said was very incoherent. I can't wait to get you in the ring. I've said my part. Thank you.
I got a question for you, Unc. Have you ever heard of Alan Thorne? I'm asking Unc a question. Have you ever heard of
Never heard.
Alan Thorne?
Never heard of him. Who was Alan Thorne? Please explain that to me.
I'm gonna let you know. Have you ever
Here's the
heard of?
inky moment. I call this the inky moment.
No,
Go
I
ahead.
got you. I got you. Have you ever heard of Michael Petroglia?
Never heard of him.
Okay, well, let me just say this because I can keep naming names. What I'm proving is
Never
this.
heard of him.
All right, my turn to talk. Mute up now. We're gonna let you get.
I'm muted up.
All right, so my point is this. Ankh don't know no alternatives to his theory. He thinks that I'm challenging science because he thinks that the out of Africa theory is just a conclusion that all scientists agreed on, and that's laughable that they doing. These Pan-Africans are religious. They like the Bambatas who think they got a degree, but they really pseudo why they call everybody else that, because what I just named was a bunch of respected scientists that they need to go look up. These scientists don't agree with the out of Africa theory. And I can name to you a lot of them that say that the out of Africa theory is oversimplified. And I got a scientist that even has an out of Australia theory. But what my point is this right here, you may not agree with these alternatives, but the point is to show y'all the bias with these guys. They haven't looked into any alternatives. They've got their mind made up with one doggone paradigm, and they telling you anything outside of that ain't science, when there are a bunch of scientists that have alternatives to the out of Africa theory. They just don't care to look up, and they'll say something like, well, they pseudo, because they don't want to look at all the alternatives, which is being honest, is what you need to do. You need to compare it to other stuff. Otherwise, it's a cult and a religion. I can keep asking him, do you know this name, that name, that name? No. Because all he know is limited because it's based in bias, and it's based in don't want to be wrong, thinking that you standing with science when you standing with just a few scientists who've popularized one concept, but there are many alternatives to it. You just don't know about them. That's a shame. You didn't even know the formula to gravity, but you want to talk to me about it. Let's move the conversation forward, man.
All right, brother San.
No, sir. Don't do it.
So I ain't even spoke. Everybody spoke.
Get out the way, Sonetta.
Yes,
Get out the way.
We gotta let this other guy speak because he didn't
Hey, Sonetta, we don't gotta let nobody speak. Get out the way. Hey, Sanchez, you don't even subscribe to the alternative theories because you don't even agree. You don't even agree with evolution. So I already know you're not subscribing to a real scientist that has a. I'm talking. I'm actually talking right now. I'm talking. Mute out. You got to mute out, bro. You got to mute out. I know you're getting jumpy. You got to mute out.
I'm gonna respond to him, Sade.
You got to mute out. You have to mute out.
No, you got it.
You got to bring on
Thank you, bro. Thank you, brother. My point is, you don't even subscribe to the supposedly quote unquote alternative theories. First of all, for a theory to get overturned, they will have to explain everything that the outer Africa theory explains. And if these scientists explain everything that the outer Africa theory explains and then adds to it, we wouldn't be having these conversations. So obviously there's some weakness in the things that they're talking about. And they have not replaced it because they have not come up with a scientific theory that explains everything that the outer Africa theory explains. So I'm telling you now, you don't even subscribe to what they're talking about. I'm done. Go ahead, Rakufu, speak. Go ahead, Rakufu.
Let me ask him a question, Sonetta. Have you ever heard of Chris Stinger?
Never heard of him.
Have you ever heard of Eleanor Scary?
Never heard of him. Go ahead, Rakufu.
So look, Ankh don't know nothing about these alternative theories, so he can't speak on them. I don't know why he doing it, y'all. Let's let the other brother go.
Now, the such thing as an alternative theory. Just for the record, people listening, there is no such thing as an alternative theory. I'm going to say this again. There is no such thing as an alternative theory.
All right, Rakufu, let's go, man.
Names, bro.
Let's go, Rakufu.
There's no such thing as an alternative theory.
Bias, bro. Bias.
Let's go, Rakufu.
Sanchez. And my question would be about the Dogen and Sanchez brought up earlier. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Ankh's familiar with him. But there's a problem in that, Sanchez, and I want you to elaborate on it. When they first went out, Graul and the French, the other guy, Dieterlin, I think, I got the book on my shelf up here, Pale Fox, read it a few times. They talked about how there was a Sirius C and all these different things. And this Hungan, or this teacher, was teaching these French scientists for like 20 years. And they only got to one stage, the clear level, about all these different star systems and different type of things going on Earth. But my problem with that was when they came back, Carl Sagan did a thing about it where when they came back and they talked to the next generation, they had said they never heard of nothing like that. and that was the French giving them that information. How do you feel, or what do you know about that, Sanchez and Ankh? But Sanchez first.
He never heard of that.
Sanchez, you there?
Yeah, he never heard of that. He just ran
Hey,
from that.
let Ankh go first. I'm handling something real quick. My bad.
No,
Go
I'm
ahead.
saying you said it right. That's exactly how it happened. Dogon never said they saw none of that.
Okay.
Simple as that. So and people run with it like Sanchez, and he don't even know that. So since we playing it, if you don't know that or know that, then you shouldn't be talking about it. And he should never bring up an indigenous tribe ever again in his life. If you don't know every single thing about the indigenous tribes.
So anybody else, go ahead, do your thing till Sanchez come back. I want to hear his answer. I'm off.
No, I'm saying at this point,
You said yours, huh? You kind of agree with what they did when they came back and hit them up.
So I'll say this, and then I gotta get ready to. But check this out.
Yeah, me too.
I know you're familiar with Laird Scranton, my brother, because if you studied the Dogon book. Okay, so you know I've sat down and talked with Laird Scranton like twice.
I saw that, yeah.
Right. So I've debated Laird Scranton. And so my whole thing is this: when a person like Ankh speak on me, he really don't know who I am. That's why he getting left behind. You know what I'm saying? He's stuck in his own little tunnel, right? But people who are like supposed to be the experts on the Dogon, I've sat down with them, debated these guys. But the point that I want to make up say is this: anyone that's trying to say that the Dogon ain't knowledgeable about the stars, I'll set up a debate with them anytime, any day. Because if you telling me that the Dogon don't know about the stars, that's crazy. I got videos of Pan-Africans right now visiting the Dogon in the 2000s, asking them about the stars, and the elders are coming out kicking knowledge.
Hey, Sanchez, before you say that, let me say this. That's what I was going to say before I finished talking about. I was going to say the other side of that is that they're saying that the Dogon felt like this. They felt like, we don't trust these people, so we're going to tell them this. We don't know nothing. We don't, that part. But they said the original first ones trusted him, and dude stayed with him 20 years, and he only got to the first level, which was the clear word.
All right, it's time to close out. Let me hear from Sanchez. Close us out, brother. Close us out.
Ankh, I ain't gonna be merciful. Ankh, I was gonna, close out. Ankh, I ain't gonna be merciful for you in the debate, man. And I don't want you to sleep real good leading up to it. You need to be worried, man. I'm not gonna be merciful to you. I want you to know that. I ain't gonna be if you think that I put some pressure on here for you today, ain't none of these dudes gonna be in that debate to save you, Ankh. I'm gonna ask you questions you ain't gonna know, and then I'm gonna articulate it well, Ankh. I'm gonna be so ready, Ankh. Just want you to know that now. I'm telling you, don't play with this. Prepare for it.
All right. I'm going to wait till the day before the debate to start reading up and studying for it. That's how I'm going to do you. I'm going to wait for the day before it. I'm going to stop it right there.
You closing out, sir?
Yeah, close out.
I had that equation for that gravity thing.
Man, he know I gave him it. Look, I'm not, man. You know that's always the pseudo. They always that's what the pseudos do, bro. They always asking me a question. That's a pseudo tactic. Asking me a question.